A Hampshire police officer is in court after allegedly raping a woman after meeting her on a dating app while her children were asleep in the house. 48-year-old David Longden-Thurgood, who has been in the police for 19 years, met the woman on dating app Bumble. They are said to have exchanged messages and pictures in which Thurgood is said to have spoke about having sex in his uniform and told the woman, "I'm a bit of a rebel off duty." Yeah, probably a bit of a cunt on duty as well. Winchester Crown Court heard last week how one day after meeting, the pair exchanged sexualised messages and sent naked selfies. The woman then invited him to her home. Prosecutor Rebecca Fairbairn told the court that the woman said she wanted to get to know him but had repeatedly said she did not want to have sex. Rebecca Fairbairn told the jury even when she said no, he was not prepared to take no for an answer. He's a copper, what do you expect? Because of the fact they had been messaging, and in part because he was a police officer, she felt a degree of trust, and so it was arranged that the following night after she had put the children to bed he would come round. A degree of trust because he was a policeman. Well, clearly she doesn't watch the news much then. Plus, how can you trust somebody after one day, copper or not? Ms Fairbairn said the pair had engaged in some sexual activity, including putting his hands on her boobies just 10 minutes after arriving at her home, which she said to have laughed off and then began kissing on the sofa. And at this point the victim accepted that at this stage she was consenting. The pair are said to have gone upstairs to watch TV in the bedroom, but she noticed Thurgood had taken his boxers off as she returned from the bathroom, at which point she is said to have told him again that she didn't want to have sex. Thurgood is alleged to have replied, "Don't worry, we won't have sex." Yeah, and that's like the "trust me, I'm a doctor" statement every one of Harold Shipman's patients heard. The court was then told that Thurgood then, without warning, raped the woman. She said that she again told him to stop and that she did not want to have sex. Thurgood told her, "Well, it feels too good. I can't stop now." She said Thurgood was aggressive and that it hurt, leaving her feeling numb. The following day, in messages between the two, Thurgood said the woman seemed miserable, was blowing it out of proportion, and "you make me feel like shit." The woman replied, "I just kept saying, no, we are not having sex. I don't mind a spoon and a bit of play, but I think you intended on coming here and having sex. It got to the point where I may as well stop saying no." Thurgood replied, "Sorry babe, I thought with all the sex talk that was both what we wanted." It was very difficult to accept the invite into your house to spoon after that talk and not have sex. The same day, the woman was visibly emotional as she picked up her children after school. Ms Fairbairn said her friend of 5 years noticed that something was wrong with her. Days later, when the woman contacted the police, she was hesitant and asked for 2 days to consider whether she wanted to make a formal complaint. Prosecutor Rebecca Fairbairn told Winchester Crown Court, "He thought you invited me into your house. You invited me into your bed." He suggested to her that because even though she said no, that didn't matter. You can be sure that when he believes the victim was consenting, it was not reasonable. Even when she said no, he was not prepared to take no for an answer. The trial continues this week, and David Longden-Thurgood from Waterlooville, Hampshire, denies one count of rape.